Wait, no. Excuse me. Señorita, ¿por qué? No. Stop it. So hi! It's been a full decade since I've used these General's Multi-Pastels. They're compressed chalk, they're like colored chalk. What we're gonna do this time? I thought it might be fun to see how they hold up over time, the actual supply themselves. I haven't used these since I was in college. I'm in my 30s now, okay, so it's been a while.
Long time.
I used to really love these. I've gone through different stages of different kinds of arts in my time. There has been times of realism where I did quite a bit of realism. I'm pretty decent at it, but it's not my favorite. I don't really particularly like doing realism. I just don't. No. I hate it. I think it's super boring. If you want something that looks realistic, I'll take a picture. Photography is its own form of art. I think that is the, in most cases, proper approach for a thing that is realistic. The painting is meant to be for things that can't be captured by photograph. Art is a very uncomfortable process, and it's kind of meant to be. It's meant to be an exploration into things. I think that's what painting is, and that's what I like painting to be. Yes. I don't know. Give a new twist on an old sort of thing for me. Things are probably gonna get weird. Things always get a little weird. Revisiting something that I haven't done in a decade. Come along. Let's go play with some chalk. Bristol.
The good news is they all seem to be working just fine with no issues, just as if, I had pulled them out a decade ago to do some sort of drawing with. They seem to still be doing the same thing. The bad news isn't really related to the art supply at all. The bad news is that I feel like I need to pass this message along to everybody. I should give some history that the last few months I've been having very intense, very cumulative, and repeating dreams about food shortages and riots. It's very prevalent in my mind, and it keeps coming back repetitively. So what I'm going to do is I am going to play the audio I recorded accidentally. I was on the phone talking to a friend, and I was talking about one of the dreams. It was one of the dreams while I was doing this drawing.
I'm conflicted about how this turned out.
So I'm going to play that audio. Here we go.
I'm working on this piece. This piece, yeah. Something was telling me to do this piece. So I'm doing it. I even made you get off that bench so I could take a picture. Get off. Yeah. I knew what I wanted. I told you.
I fully recognize things are going to get worse for probably 6+ months before we start seeing things really turn around. Just so you know, those are the things I've been saying. Just expect that for 6+ months. Things are gonna seem to be getting worse. It's just required. Doesn't mean that it is. Doesn't mean that it is. It just means that's what it's gonna look like, okay? Food creams again last night. This one stuck out in a way. I wasn't able to capture much of it again this time. I'm gonna have to start doing trying to figure out other methods of trying to capture it, because I'm not, I feel like I should be capturing more than I am. It's pretty difficult right now to keep a hold of much of it. This one I was able to keep a very specific thing, it being 2 years down the road. So that number is important. 2 years down the road. And somebody saw that I had flour and was surprised and specifically said, "Oh wow, it's been 2 years since I've seen flour." What the fuck does that mean? Holy, it's already a disaster. Just to give you that number, because it's rare for me to get numbers like that. Oh yikes. 2 years. Does that mean there's going to be those sort of shortages for literally 2 full years? Is that what that means? That might be what that means. I've said this before. They're telling me I better fucking have at least 100 pounds of flour. It's kind of sounded like I better fucking have at least 100 pounds of flour. Heaven help me. Lord helps him who helps himself. Oh Lord, I gotta help myself. Yikes. Just yikes. Yikes. And so the way this thing works, it doesn't necessarily mean that there will not be flour available for 2 years. Like, to be had at all. That's not necessarily what this means. It just might mean that there's disruptions in that for 2 years. It'll just be difficult to get it for 2 years. It might only mean that. It might not be direct correlation sort of thing. But the 2-year number seems important. And not great. Not great at all. Very not great. Yeah, very not great. But as with other things, I feel like I gotta tell you when I'm gifted things, so that number in particular. Yikes. So, the thing is, if you're not in the habit of stocking a pantry, maybe you should start. Next time you go to the grocery store, instead of buying 1 bag of coffee, maybe buy 2. Start thinking of it in that way, okay? Everybody at this stage is trying not to sound panicked. The ones who are watching things are trying not to sound panicked, but time is speeding up. Things are going a lot faster. And if you haven't started doing this kind of stuff, maybe you should get going on it, like today, okay? I hope you guys can find a way to be okay, because the world is going to continue to turn over, and it's going to continue to change. I know coffee isn't the end-all be-all food to survive on, but I use it specifically because, for me, coffee is essential to my mental health. I require coffee. I do. It's one of my favorite things on this whole earth. It's just coffee. I want it all the time, constantly, all day. I love coffee. We get along very well. And word is, down the supply lines, there's a pretty hefty chance there will be no coffee to be had by winter. Just none anywhere. I'm talking about us North American folk, okay? I'm an American. Now imagine if coffee is unattainable, what else might also be unattainable? And what the world might actually look like in that circumstance. If this is new information to you, you might want to get moving and figure things out. This is a long ride and you're on it whether or not you signed up for it. I have a very deep optimism for the future. I do. I think we will continue beyond what we are now and grow into a grander species of human. I really do. But we're going to have to get through some hard stuff first. And I do not mean any of that transhumanist crap. That is not what I mean. I mean natural humans that aren't poisoned by the food and water and air and everything that's spread on the earth. That's what I mean. Getting back to nature and what we were actually built for. Keep your cup full. Keep going. Keep adding. Keep searching for truth, because it does not come easy. Fall is coming.